Hi everyone. In this video, we are solving a Leetcode medium level problem. It's a SQL problem and the problem number is 2066 and the problem title is account balance. Okay, so let's read the problem statement. So the schema is given of this table. There is only one table. The table is called transactions and there are 4 columns of different data types. Okay, so those 4 columns are account ID, day, type, and amount. And it's given that account ID comma day is the primary key. And each row contains information about one transaction, including the transaction type and the day it occurred on, okay, and the amount also. And the type of transaction takes only these 2 values, deposit or withdraw. There are only 2 different types of transaction. Okay, so this is what is given about the table. Now we need to write a SQL query to report the balance of each user, right, after each transaction. We have to write a SQL query to report the balance of each user after every single transaction. If they are making a deposit, we will have to update it. If they are making withdrawal, we will have to update it, right? And we may assume that the balance of each account before any transaction is 0. Right, so we are assuming that all the users are having exactly the same starting balance of 0, and then we are adding certain amount or removing certain amount from their account. Okay, and that the balance will never go below 0 at any moment is what is given. Right, so now we need to return the result table in ascending order of account ID. Right, and then in case there is a tie, we will have to order it by the day. Right, order by is the last thing to worry about as always. Okay, so we'll get back to it later. The query result format is in the following example. Okay, so they have given one example. So we have this example here containing the transactions table, and we have account ID, day, type, and amount. And you can see that the person with account ID 1 on this particular day deposits 2000 rupees, right? And the very same person, okay, on some other day, okay, after 2 days, that person withdrew 1000 rupees, so on. Okay, so you can read the details, and the output is expected to be like this. Okay, it should contain the account ID, the day, and the balance. Okay, so account ID and the day, these 2 columns can be directly taken from the previous table, the given table, transactions table. Okay, balance is something we need to create. So this is the main part of the problem. Balance, right, is the main part of the problem. Okay, so the explanation is exactly whatever I told you. If you want, you can pause and read this in detail, right? But it's the same basic explanation. Okay, so we'll see how to handle this balance column. Okay, all other things are very straightforward in this problem, just the balance. Okay, you see, let's take the same person with account ID 1. Okay, and it's also very clearly given that the starting balance for every single account is 0. So let's start with 0. So this person is depositing 2000. So we are supposed to add 2000 to it. And the same person is withdrawing 1000. So we will now have to subtract 1000 from it. And the very same person is once again depositing 1000. So it will add to the existing value. Okay, so it was 0 first, then it became 2000. Then it became 1000 because we removed 1000 from it. Then again, the same person is depositing 3000. So now it will become 4000. That is exactly what you can see in this output table. Initially, he started at 0. That is not mentioned here because there's no need to. That's a common balance for everyone. And when he's depositing 2000, it became 2000. After that, he withdrew 1000, it became 1000. And later he deposited another 3000, then it becomes 4000. So one thing is, and we will have to, of course, do the same thing for each and every account ID. So one thing is very clear. It kind of sounds like cumulative sum. It is cumulative sum. The only difference is it is not going to be sum all the time. Okay, whenever it is the act of depositing, we will have to add it. And whenever it's withdrawal, we will have to subtract it. But that column called as balance, the way we create it, it looks very, very similar to the way we create cumulative sum, right? And we know how to create cumulative sum. Usually we go with the window function, right? Okay, so that is what we are going to do here as well. So let's keep this for reference. Okay, so what are we supposed to do here? We will have to select We'll start with the obvious. We will have to select the account ID and then the day. So we are selecting these two things first, account ID and the day. And the third one is the balance. So this is where we have multiple moving parts. Okay. So one thing is obvious, we will have to use the window function, right? And we are going to partition it by the account ID, because for every account ID, we want this, the balance being updated for every single transaction. Okay, so we will have to partition it by the account ID and we will have to order it by the day, right? And most important thing is, whenever it is deposit, we will have to add it. Whenever it's withdrawal, we will have to subtract it. So like I told you, we have multiple moving parts. So window function we have to use, partition by the account ID, and order by the day, and give appropriate sign depending on deposit or withdrawal, plus or minus sign respectively. Okay, so how to do it? So we start with sum, right? I'll just write the skeleton of this solution. Sum over what? Sum over partition. Sum of what? I'll get to that later. Okay, so sum of whatever that thing is over what? Partition by account ID. We will have to partition it by the account ID and order by day, right? So this will take care of segregating all the accounts and arranging them as per the day order. Okay, so that part is taken care of. Now sum of what? We can't directly give sum of amount, like I told you. We can't do it. That will just keep on adding, okay? Whether it's deposit or withdrawal or whatever it is, it will just keep on adding all those amounts, okay? We don't want that. So it's pretty obvious that we will have to use a case statement there, okay? Inside the sum, as an argument, we will have to use case statement, okay? So how it works? Case, when the type is deposit, then we will have to use the amount as it is. We're not changing anything. Else, in the sense, the only other option is withdrawal. Else, we will have to take the negative of the amount instead of the amount. And let's end it. And yeah, that's it. Let's call it something. We have to call it, according to the example, we will have to call it balance. And we are, taking all this information from transactions table. I think that's about it. It should work. Oh no, we will have to order by. We will have to order by what? We will have to order by account ID, which is the first column. So let me just say 1, and then by day. Okay, sorry, that is 2. Okay, then let's run our code. Okay, there seems to be an error. What is that? Yeah, I think, yeah, we are missing partition by. It is supposed to be partition by. Okay, I think we'll just organize it properly. Yeah. Now let's run it. Excellent, it worked. Let's submit our code and check how it performs. Okay, good. So our solution has been accepted. Even performance wise, it's pretty decent, both the runtime and the memory usage. Hope you found this video useful. Thank you for watching.